Okay, so for this pack, we've got a nice little 2-mana white mummy here, which is the Mummy Paramount. We've got the Frontline Devastator, the Unquenchable Thirst, I'm sorry, I'm reading these upside down, the Lurching Rock Beast, Aronis's Stalwart. Feel bad for what happened to Aronis, man. Grizzly Survivor, Ruin Rat, the Granite Titan, the Desert of the Fervent. There's another common cycling land, so that's kind of cool. Seer of the Last Tomorrow, the Magmaroth, sorry. Consign to Oblivion, Overcome, and the Adorned Pouncer. One of my favorite cards from this set. I'm deathly allergic to cats, and I didn't think I was going to take cats seriously, but man, let me tell you guys a quick story. This card absolutely beat me and my opponent's tail in a two-headed giant match during pre-release. They were able to eternalize it, and a 4/4 with double strike is no joke. No land and our token. So a little snake token there. So that's cool. I think cats are definitely going to be a thing. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, and don't underestimate them. If your opponent across the table from you is playing cats, you might want to watch out, man. I think a cat tribal deck is actually going to be a good thing in this set. I know I'm going to build one for fun. See how it works out. Alright, so for this next pack, we get the Solitary Camel. I know a lot of folks were wanting Camel Tribal, but sadly did not happen this set, which is weird. That's okay. We get the Disposable Mummy, Open Fire, the Lethal Sting, the Grizzly Survivor, Ambuscade, and I've popped a couple of these, but let me just tell you, green doesn't have a whole lot of removal. Ambuscade is some pretty good removal, because it doesn't have the fight effect that a lot of green cards have where your creature has to fight. This only does damage to the opponent's creature that you're targeting. So remember that. Remember to read your card and double check that. We've got the Granite Titan, the Desert of the Indomitable, the Seer of Last Tomorrow, the Graven Abomination, Razakast Right, which is just, I'm not a fan of it. It's just a little more expensive Demonic Tutor, or Diabolic Tutor, I think. Not a fan. I think they could have done better. Eternal of Harsh Truths. I love all of the Eternal cards. I think they're all really good and definitely playable in all of their colors. And the Obelisk Spider, which also I think is really cool. And then for our rare, we have Grind to Dust, which is really cool because it's got some good removal there. And our land and a nice little cat. All right. The next one here. All right. So for this pack, most of these packs have been starting with white cards. I wonder if that's on purpose. We've got the Dauntless Aven, the Blur of Blades, the Unquenchable Thirst, the Moaning Wall, which is a zombie wall, the Bitterbow Sharpshooters, that's right, yeah. Another good card that saw a lot of play unlimited there. The Torment of Venom, the Graven Abomination, the Steadfast Sentinel, the Desert of the Fervent, the Hashep Oasis, sorry. The Accursed Horde, that gives your zombies indestructible, so I think that's going to see a little bit of play. Riddle Form, I think Riddle Form was actually pretty neat. I think as a recurring threat, and having a 3/3 creature on the board every time you play something is going to be good, and then that scry is pretty good. So I think that's actually going to see some play. And then the Hour of Glory is our rare for this set. Some nice little removal. Let you exile a target creature. And then do some serious damage if it's a god. So, and it's instant speed, which is nice. So that's not bad. And then a Hollow Land and an Adorn Pouncer token. So no Nicol Bolas and no Invocations yet, but we still got 3 packs to go. So let's see what happens. Still got some pretty good pulls though. Alright, we've got the Tragic Lesson. Make sure you guys can see it there. The Act of Heroism. The Puncturing Blow. The Oasis Ritualist. Hyrna Eternal. Now, these cards also proved to be pretty good for us during the pre-release event, during the limited pre-release event. That Afflict is no joke. Don't let, what's essentially a grizzly bear turn you off to him, because that Afflict, man, that Afflict's going to catch up to him, to your opponent pretty quick. So, the Rampaging Hippo, the Graven Abomination, the Striped Riverwinder. I like him because it's cycling for 1, and that hexproof. If he lands, that's going to be tough for your opponent to deal with. Ruin Rats, another Steadfast Sentinel. The Bloodwater Entity is our uncommon. The Sunset Pyramid is our other uncommon. And the Sunscourge Champion is our other common. And the Mirage Mirror is our rare. So that makes, I think now I've pulled a full playset of Mirage Mirrors between this pack now and all my pre-release packs. But it's cool. I like it. I think, you can't shake it at turning something on the board, because it can become any target artifact, land, enchantment, or creature on the playing field. So I think that's I think that's good. And then a Full Art Forest. So love that they're doing Full Art lands with this set. That's awesome. All right, crack this open here. All right, so we've got the Dauntless Haven. The Blur of Blades, the Avon Reedstalker. Okay, I haven't seen that card. I try to avoid spoilers, by the way, side note, having to read some of these cards. I try to avoid going on Mythic Spoiler and things like that before a set gets released, because I like kind of seeing the new cards, when I get them. Nothing against folks that do, that's totally fine, that's totally cool. But, I like kind of seeing the new things and experiencing it, when it comes out. Here's a Wretched Campbell. There's your dead zombie Campbell. And I'd like to think that the designers designed him after the what day is it? Hump Day Camel. Because when I see his picture, that's immediately what I think of. So, yeah. There you go. Get back to me, Wizards, and let me know if that's true. We've got the Breath of the Sand. The Scourger of Souls again. The Dejiru's Reinforcements. No, Dejiru's Renunciation. Yeah, there you go. Unsummon again. Desert of the Glorified. So I think this makes all of these cycling lands that we got, the common cycling lands. Monolith, which is a reprint and definitely playable. I think right now for 3 mana, folks are still going to want to play the 5/5 vehicle that taps for mana. But this is not bad, and this is going to be in standard for a long time, so I like it. So if you need mana fixing, definitely think about Monolith. Nissa's Defeat. The Burning Fist Minotaur. Desert's Hold. And the Majestic Miriarch. Yeah, okay. So this is kind of a, not really Lord, but sort of Lord for pretty much whatever deck you want to toss him in. He reminds me of, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's the white lord from Shadows over Innistrad that also gained the abilities of whatever was on the board. So he's kind of a, similar to that. So that's pretty neat. I like abilities like that. And just a land and our Sinuous Striker. And I love that they zombified all of our wonderful new creatures. They didn't just put them on there. They actually gave them some good zombie effects. So that was kind of neat. Last pack, y'all. Let's see what we pull. Alright. So for this one, we've got the Aerial Guide. Dutiful Servants. The Frontline Devastator. The Harrier Naga. The Wretched Camel again. Desert of the True. Life Goes On. The Traveler's Amulet. The Granite Titan. There's another River Hoopoe. Or Hopo. Hope Tender. Inferno Jet. And there's our rare, Dejiru with Eyes Open. He goes pretty well in decks with Planeswalkers. So, getting the Trials and Gideon Ally of Zendikar, he would go well in those kind of decks. And then a full Hollow Nissa's Defeat. And our land. And our token. So that's it, folks. You get your 10 packs. Like I said, you get your book. You get your die. I believe you get a die, right? Yep, you get your die. And that's kind of neat. Get your nice little blood red D20 there with Bolus's horns on it. So that's kind of cool. So personally, I think it's you get a good value. This set has definitely paid for itself. So thanks again for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends. And I will see you guys next time. Stay out of trouble.